Where did you see this coming? A massive secret just leaked, and trust me, it changed everything.
What if the moment that was supposed to be their big romantic reunion instead exploded into the most gut-wrenching, culture clash nightmare in 90-Day Fiancé history? What if a confession about something deeply personal, something that reshapes everything Daniel thought he knew about Lisa, hit him like a thunderbolt on camera, captured in real time for millions of viewers to watch unfold? What if that shock squeeze cut right into an Instagram leak showing Emma picking up her phone and dialing her ex, and suddenly fans everywhere are gasping, "Didn't see that coming." Stay tuned, because by the end of this story, you'll realize why this relationship was never going to survive the labyrinth of secrets, culture shock, and emotional landmines it stepped into.
The camera is cut, the jetway lights are glaring, and there she is, Lisa, heart full of hope, stepping onto Nigerian soil with a ring snug on her finger and the dream of finally a fresh start humming in her chest. They kick off with what should have been romance. Daniel drops to one knee in front of a cheering crowd right outside the airport, offering her that proposal she'd been picturing since the day he slid into her DMs. She says yes, tears glistening, and in that moment fans thought, this is it, love wins. But even then, the truth was already brewing beneath the surface, waiting for the right, or wrong, moment to unleash. It wasn't long before the honeymoon glow started to fade. Hospitality turned to intensity as Daniel whisked Lisa to meet his uncle, a man steeped in Igbo tradition and someone whose approval means everything if this marriage is going to work. But that meeting didn't go the way Lisa envisioned. Instead of serene cultural bonding, the atmosphere turned grilling session real fast. Direct, blunt questions about her life, her habits, and yes, her sexuality, left her visibly shaken. The uncle didn't sugarcoat it. He asked her point-blank if she was a lesbian. And this wasn't a gentle curiosity, it was a cultural crucible, a moment that made Lisa's heart trip over itself. Now here's where the tea gets really messy. Back in the US, Lisa had shared with the cameras that she'd spent 21 years in relationships with women and had been married 5 times, details she peppered through confessionals like they were part of her backstory. But she never clearly told Daniel the whole truth, especially about the fact that she was still legally married to a woman. That last part is huge, because in Daniel's culture, extramarital sex isn't just frowned upon, it's a sin with social consequences. So imagine his face, eyes widening, jaw tightening, when he learned not just that she's had romantic history with women for 2 decades, but that legally she is still tied to her wife.
Don't forget to subscribe for more tea. Now let's get back to the drama.
The edit cuts between close-ups of Daniel's stunned expression and fan reactions in Reddit threads that could double as Shakespearean commentary. He was about to have a seizure when she said lesbian, one comment reads in disbelief. It's not just shock. For him, this is deep cultural dissonance. In Nigeria, where homosexuality is widely taboo and even criminalized, it's not something brushed off with a shrug. For Daniel, this wasn't a quirky plot twist, it was a seismic revelation with real stakes. And as the scene unfolded, the cameras didn't just capture emotional beats, they captured physical reactions. Daniel, reeling, shouted at her in a way that stunned even longtime viewers. When Lisa tries to move past the revelation with a romantic gesture, a booked getaway for just the two of them, Daniel doesn't dance into the sunset. Instead, he throws up emotional defenses. "Don't come close to me," he says, words that echo like a betrayal to Lisa and like a cultural indictment to him. But television doesn't stop for discomfort. We cut away from Lisa's implosion into a parallel thread that TikTok communities are already obsessed with, Emma. While one love story is unraveling in real time, clips surface of her reaching out to her ex, phone in hand and emotions running backwards at full tilt. Fan theories explode. Was this subplot foreshadowed? Was she never really over him? The overlap of Emma's regression with Lisa's confession creates a perfect double whammy of emotional chaos that keeps 90-Day fandom buzzing with screenshots and heated debates. Posts on Reddit heat up. Some fans calling Lisa's choices self-sabotage, others pointing fingers at Daniel's own motives. As the narrative thread tightens, social media becomes part of the storytelling itself. There are leaks, receipts, screenshots of live chats, Reddit threads charting every nuance of facial expression, all woven into the wider tapestry of what this season is trying to say about trust, cultural divides, and the pressure cooker of AK-1 visa romance. Fans catch on that where romance meets immigration law, pressure mounts, and when secrets keep piling up, no one walks away whole. Daniel's reaction: some say it's protective, some say it's performative. But in that crucible moment with his family and community expectations looming, you feel the emotional tectonics shift. Mid-story, let's pause, and hey, if you're getting swept up in the chaos and love deep dives like a guilty pleasure expert, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what comes next. Because what's unbelievable now still hasn't reached the real climax. By now, audiences have seen the layers. Lisa trying to bridge vastly different worlds, Daniel grappling with him, his family, and his community's expectations, and Emma taking her own detour back into old emotional territory. It's messy, it's dramatic, it's so full of tease and tension that every Reddit thread feels like another clue in a detective novel. But this is where that biggest twist lands, the moment that reframes everything you thought you knew about this couple's arc. Up until now, Lisa's confession about her past seemed like the bombshell, but the real secret is something deeper. While she was still legally married, she also never fully divorced that woman, meaning that from a legal and cultural standpoint, what she's doing with Daniel isn't just a personal truth bomb, it's a legal and spiritual clash of worlds that neither of them was prepared for. Fans across platforms are calling it the pivot point, the moment that turns romance into a ticking time bomb. And now the atmosphere shifts again. We don't just see raised eyebrows, we see gut-wrenching disengagement, tearful retreats, and unfiltered vulnerability that no Franken edit can hide. For Lisa, it feels like she's been exposed on every side, as someone chasing love late in life, as a person who maybe wasn't fully honest, and as a mother whose teenage daughter is watching this train wreck unfold on global television. For Daniel, it's not just a betrayal, it's a collision with every cultural rule he's ever internalized. The emotional disconnect becomes almost unbearable, like watching two tectonic plates grind against each other, causing seismic narrative tension that you feel deep in your chest. So let me ask you this, down in the comments, do you think love can survive when cultural truth and personal truth collide this violently, or was this mess inevitable from the start? And that polarizing question, that's exactly what keeps this drama simmering long after the credits roll.
What do you think? Comment below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.